All right, Shalom. Coming back with another segment of Esau's perpetual hatred. All right, we're back in the book of 100 Years of Lynchings, written by Ralph Ginsberg. And, once again, we're going to read a couple articles, and bring out some scriptures. All right. So this is from the Baltimore Afro-American, written on July 6, 1923. The name of the article: Negro father is lynched, aided son to escape mob. All right, so this happened in Bronson, Florida, January 4th. Samuel Carter, 46 years old, a respected resident of this place, was shot to death by a mob last night after he had admitted aiding his son to escape a lynch mob. Young Carter was sought by a posse because he was thought to know the whereabouts of an escaped convict charged with assaulting a white woman. The two were seen together several hours before the assault. The elder Carter faced the mob when the leaders knocked on his door, admitted that he had helped to get his son away by hiding him in the back part of his buggy. He led the mob to the point where he said his son jumped out and continued on foot. When bloodhounds were not able to pick up the scent, the members of the crowd vented their anger on the older Carter by riddling his body with bullets. This is from the Washington Eagle, August 11, 1923. Name of the article: Max Exodus of Negroes. Yazoo City. This happened in Yazoo City, Mississippi. Okay, on August 6th. 10,000 colored people, 10,000 colored peasants, including men, women, and children, are said to have left the vicinity of Yazoo City since Sunday following the burning at the stake of Willie Minifield in a swamp near here. The emigrants left in all sorts of convoyances, railroads, automobiles, ox carts, and some on foot. Few of them remained long enough to dispose of their possessions, some even leaving crops on the ground. Minifield, who was found fishing in the swamp, was accused of attacking a woman with an axe at a point 26 miles distant. There was no indication to prove that he was the criminal. When the posse discovered him, he was in company with another man. Both were seized and charged with the crime. Minifield's companion escaped. Angered because he had slipped from their clutches, the mob prepared to burn Minifield. He was dragged to a cleared space in the swamp, and a stake was driven into the ground to which he was tied. Brushwood was then piled around until only his head was visible. A match was set to the brush, and as the flames crackled around the men, the woods resounded with the shouts of the mob. As the flames died down, leaving the victim's charred skeleton lying upon the embers, the mob took up the chase for the men who had escaped. This is from the Memphis Commercial Appeal, August 26, 1923. Reports are conflicting on lynched Negroes' guilt. This is in Jacksonville, Florida, August 25th. The handcuffed, bullet-riddled body of a Negro found on the road shortly after midnight Saturday was identified today as that of Lanhart 34, a farmhand. He had been suspected of being the Negro who early Friday morning peeped into the window of a girl at the 3 Mile Ranch. Reports to the sheriff's office, however, were said to indicate that Hart was innocent. Bartow Jones, employer of Hart, told the sheriff he and his son-in-law had seen Hart at 5 o'clock Friday morning at his logging camp, 10 miles from 3 Mile Ranch. According to the girl's story, the man appeared out a window at 4 o'clock. Jones said Hart could not have walked the 10 miles in 1 hour. The girl told two deputies that she could not remember what the intruder looked like. Investigation revealed that Hart had been taken from the logging camp about 9 o'clock Friday night by men who came in two automobiles and wore badges, posing as peace officers. The four Negroes in camp were lined up, and Hart was selected to go with the men in the cars. That was the last he was seen alive. All right, we're gonna read one more. Okay, this is in the Chicago Tribune, written on October 10th, 1924. Doubt bludgeoned Negro was a coaster of girls. A coaster of girls. Let's look up the word a coaster. All right, definition. A coaster in a Google definition. This is in the lexical.com actually. It says a coaster, a person who accosts someone, who accosts another. To come alongside. Wait, bear with me. Accost, accost. Approach and address someone boldly or aggressively to speak to. Okay, that's a coaster. It says to approach and address someone boldly or aggressively to speak to, talk to. All right, to approach and speak to someone in an often challenging or aggressive way. All right, so it says doubt bludgeoned Negro was a coaster of girls. It appeared yesterday that the wrong Negro may have been killed by a mob here Wednesday night in the Jewish ghetto section on West 14th Street. Two girls who had been accosted by a colored man while standing on the sidewalk there yesterday viewed the body of William Bell, the, the mob the mob victim, and said that they could not be sure Bell was the man who had approached them. The Negro who accosted us did look very much like Bell. That is, he dressed similarly, but I can't be sure it was Bell, declared Miss Bertha Dutch, 1357 Miller Street, one of the girls. Her companion, Miss Betty Street, one of the girls, Slakia. Her companions, Miss Betty Greenblatt, 1071 Maxwell Street, was equally uncertain when questioned yesterday at police headquarters concerning the mob murder of Bell, who lived at 1057 Frank Street. At 11 o'clock Wednesday night, a Negro is said to have approached the girls who were standing in front of the Sacramento wine shop of George Shapiro, 1014 West 14th Street, in the midst of the ghetto. Come with me to my car. I have lots of money, the Negro is reported to have said to the girls. He took hold of Miss Durst's arm, the girl screamed, and the Negro fled. A crowd composed principally of foreigners quickly formed, and Bell was standing on the sidewalk with two friends near the spot where the girls had screamed, was quickly seized. A mob of 100 men and boys began to kick and beat him. Someone appeared with a baseball bat and delivered a terrific blow to the colored man's head. He collapsed. An ambulance was summoned, but Bell was dead by the time it arrived. Meanwhile, Otto Epstein, night watchman at Shapiro's wine shop, ran to the police station. There, a race riot. There is a race riot. He excitedly told the desk sergeant. A man has been killed. Thomas Clark, one of Bell's Negro companions, had followed Epstein to the station. Yes, and you're the one who killed him, he said. Epstein strenuously denied this but agreed to remain at the station for questioning. At the police investigation yesterday, the two girls expressed regret over what had happened. Who would have thought such a thing could happen in America, said Miss Deutsch, a recent immigrant. Racial tension in the ghetto has been running high lately since a number of Negro families moved into the district. Hey, let's keep going. This is from the Brooklyn Eagle, okay, written on December 20th, 1925. Lynched just a few minutes after jury frees him in murder. In Clarksdale, Mississippi, on December 19th. Lindsay Coleman, Negro, was lynched here tonight a few minutes after a jury in circuit court had declared him not guilty of the murder of Grover C. Nicholas, plantation store manager. St. Louis Argus, June 8th, 1926. Negro lynched for attacking child he only startled. Osceola, Arkansas, June 2nd. Albert Blaze, 22, a Negro visiting here from St. Louis, was hanged and his body was burnt Wednesday morning for an alleged attack on a small white girl. Following the lynching, doctors who examined the child said that she had not been attacked. There appears to be some question of whether the child wasn't merely frightened by the unexpected appearance of Blaze in a picnic ground where she and her classmates were playing. Blaze pleaded his innocence to the last. All right, we're going to read one more. This is from the New York Sun, written on October 8th, 1926. Bloodthirsty mob lynches three members of one family. Aiken, South Carolina, on October 8th. A mob early today stormed the Aiken jail, seized three Negroes, one of them a woman, and shot them to death in a pine thicket just beyond the city limits. The Negroes were on trial for the murder of Sheriff H. Howard of Aiken County, who was shot to death at the home of the Negroes a year ago last April. A verdict of acquittal had been handed down yesterday for one of the Negroes. The mob victims were Damon and Bertha Lohman, brother and sister, and their cousin Clarence. Damon had been cleared of the murder charge yesterday, and a verdict of not guilty was ordered in his behalf by Judge S.T. Lanham. The acquittal of the other two Lohmans was expected shortly. All right, so let's bring out a few precepts. Start off